She named our son after her ex-boyfriend without telling me. It's just a name. He was important to me. I replied, he can be the dad then. The next morning I filed for divorce, submitted a paternity acknowledgement withdrawal, and publicly announced I would not raise a child named after another man. I found out my son was named after my wife's ex-boyfriend when he was 6 days old. 6 days. The birth certificate was already filed. Name officially registered, Lucas Martin Anderson. My last name, sure, but the first and middle? Those belonged to someone else. Lucas Martin Hayes, her ex from college, the one she stayed friends with, the one whose Instagram she still liked posts from, the one who texted her happy birthday every year with way too many heart emojis for someone who was supposedly just an old friend. That Lucas Martin. Let me back up. My wife Emily and I had been married 4 years. We met at work. She was in HR, I was in operations. Normal corporate romance. Started with coffee, turned into dating, ended with a wedding at a vineyard in Napa that cost more than my car. Her parents paid for most of it. Her dad gave a speech about how happy he was she'd found a stable guy after her wild phase. I didn't think much of it at the time. The pregnancy was planned. We'd been trying for 8 months. When she finally got pregnant, we were both thrilled. The usual stress applied, morning sickness, weird cravings, hormones making her cry at car commercials. But we were doing it together, or so I thought. We didn't find out the gender. Emily wanted it to be a surprise, fine by me. We picked out 2 names for each, 2 boy names, 2 girl names, went back and forth for weeks. I suggested names from my family, she suggested names she just liked. We agreed on nothing concrete, just kept a running list on our phones. James was my top pick for a boy. James Anderson. Classic, strong, my grandfather's name. Emily said she liked it but wanted to see what the baby looked like first. Said sometimes you meet the baby and the name just doesn't fit. I thought that was sweet. Labor came early, week 38. Her water broke at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. We rushed to the hospital, 16 hours of labor. I was there the whole time. Held her hand, rubbed her back, let her squeeze my hand so hard I thought she'd break my fingers. When our son was born, 7 pounds, 4 ounces, full head of dark hair, I cried like a baby myself. He was perfect. The nurse asked what we were naming him. I looked at Emily. She looked at me. We hadn't decided yet, remember? The list was still just a list. Let's talk about it, I said. She nodded, smiled, tired but happy. The first 2 days in the hospital were a blur. Feeding, sleeping, nurses checking vitals every 2 hours. Visitors, her parents came, my parents came, everyone cooed over the baby. He has your nose. He has her eyes, the usual. Name talk kept getting pushed back, too tired, too overwhelmed. We'll figure it out before we leave. Emily kept saying. Day 3, we had to decide. Hospital wouldn't discharge without a name for the birth certificate. We were alone in the room. Baby was sleeping in the bassinet. Emily was sitting up in bed, looking at her phone. So, I said, name time. I was thinking Lucas, she said, not looking up. Lucas? Yeah, Lucas Martin. I paused. We never talked about Lucas. That wasn't on our list. I know, but I think it fits him. Look at him. Doesn't he look like a Lucas? I looked at our son. He looked like a baby. Red-faced, sleeping, tiny fists curled up. Could have been a Lucas. Could have been a James. Could have been anything. What about James? I thought you liked James. I do, but Lucas is better, more modern. Where'd Martin come from? It's a good strong middle name, Lucas Martin Anderson. I didn't love it, but I was exhausted. She'd just pushed a human out of her body. If she felt strongly about Lucas, fine, pick your battles, right? Okay, I said, Lucas Martin. She smiled, kissed me. Thank you, I love you. Love you too. She pulled up the birth certificate paperwork on the hospital tablet, started filling it out. I watched her type. Lucas Martin Anderson. Birth date, time, weight, length, all the details. Can you sign here? She handed me the tablet. I signed with my finger. Didn't really read it. Just saw father's signature and signed. She signed hers, submitted it electronically, made it official. We went home the next day. Day 6 is when everything fell apart. I was scrolling Instagram while the baby napped. Saw a post from someone I hadn't thought about in years. Tyler, one of Emily's friends from college. He'd posted a throwback photo, group shot from a party. Emily was in it. So was a guy I recognized from her old Facebook photos. Tall, athletic build, that generic handsome frat guy look. The caption said, "Miss these days, good times with the crew." Emily was tagged, so was someone named Lucas Hayes. Lucas Hayes. I clicked on his profile, public account. Recent post from 3 days ago, the same day we named our son. It was a selfie from a gym. Caption: Getting after it, life is good. Top comment was from Emily. Looking good. Posted 4 hours after we'd left the hospital. I scrolled through his profile. Lots of workout photos, some hiking pics. One photo from a year ago, a group shot at someone's wedding. Emily was in that photo too. She'd gone to her college friend's wedding without me, said it was girls' weekend and I'd be bored. Looking at the photo, there were plenty of guys there, including Lucas Hayes. They were standing next to each other, his arm around her shoulders. I felt sick. Went back to her Instagram, started scrolling through her likes. Lucas Hayes appeared a lot. Recent gym selfie, motivational quote post, vacation photo from last month, dog photo, car photo. She liked everything he posted. I scrolled more, found an old post from a year ago, photo of Lucas at some charity 5K. Emily had commented, "So proud of you, miss you." Miss you? I opened Emily's messages. We had an open phone policy, no passwords, nothing to hide. I'd never snooped before. Never had a reason. I found the text chain with Lucas Hayes. Most recent message was from 2 days ago, from her. We named him Lucas Martin. His response: "Wow, that's huge, honored." I scrolled up. Their messages went back months. Nothing explicit, nothing sexual, but intimate in a way that made my stomach turn. Thinking about you today. Remember that time we drove to the coast? Best weekend ever. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we'd stayed together. Me too. That last exchange was from 3 months ago, when Emily was 6 months pregnant. I kept scrolling, found messages from a year ago, around the time she went to that wedding. After the wedding, late at night. Her "Tonight was so good. Wish it didn't have to end." Same. Always good to see you. You look beautiful, Tobo. Stop. You're sweet. Just honest. He's a lucky guy. I'm lucky too. But sometimes I think about us. Yeah, me too. Nothing physical happened, I'm pretty sure of that. But emotionally, she never stopped being with him. I put the phone down, felt like I was going to throw up. Emily walked in. "Hey, I'm gonna pump and then, what's wrong?" I looked at her. "Why is our son named Lucas Martin?" She froze. "What?" "Lucas Martin, Lucas Hayes, your ex-boyfriend." Her face went white. How did I figure out you named our son after the guy you're still in love with?" Instagram. Took me about 10 minutes. "I'm not in love with him. Then why is our baby named after him?" It's not about that." "Then what's it about?" She sat down on the bed, hands shaking. "Okay, yes, Lucas Martin is his full name. And yes, I dated someone named Lucas Martin in college, but that's not why I chose it." "Bullshit. It's not. I always liked the name Lucas, even before I met him, and when we dated it just became this name that meant a lot to me, but not because of him, because of that time in my life. I was happy then. I was figuring myself out. The name just represents that." "You texted him 2 days ago and told him we named our son after him." She closed her eyes. "You went through my phone. We have an open phone policy. This is different. This is invasion of privacy." "Privacy? You named our baby after your ex-boyfriend and didn't tell me. That's not privacy. That's lying." "I didn't lie. I suggested the name. You agreed. Because I didn't know. If you'd said, 'Hey, I want to name our son after my college boyfriend, who I still text and tell, I think about what would have happened if we'd stayed together,' I would have said no. Obviously. That's why I didn't tell you." The honesty of that statement hung in the air. "So you knew it was wrong." "It's not wrong. It's just a name. Lucas was important to me. That time in my life was important. The name makes me happy. What's wrong with that?" "Just a name? Emily, you named our son after another man, a man you're clearly not over. You're texting him, 'I think about us,' while 6 months pregnant with my baby. Nothing happened. We're just friends. You told him you wish you'd stayed together." That was a hypothetical. People wonder about their exes sometimes. It doesn't mean anything. It means everything. You've been emotionally cheating on me for years, and now you've permanently attached his name to our son. She started crying. "I love you. I married you. I had a baby with you. Yeah, and you named him after someone else. It's not about him, it's about me, about who I was. That name makes me happy. Well, it makes me fucking miserable." I left the room, couldn't look at her, sat in the nursery, stared at our son sleeping in his crib. He was 6 days old. He had no idea his name was already destroying our marriage. Lucas Martin Anderson. Every time I said it, I'd think of Lucas Hayes. Every time someone asked his name, I'd know it wasn't about him. It was about the guy my wife couldn't let go of. I couldn't do it. I went back to the bedroom. Emily was still crying. I want to change his name, I said. What? His name, I want to change it. We can't. The birth certificate is filed. We can amend it. I looked it up. We have 60 days. I'm not changing his name. Then he can be Lucas Hayes' son, not mine. What are you talking about? If his name is that important to you, important enough to lie about, important enough to honor your ex over your husband, then Lucas Hayes can be his dad, not me. You're being insane. Am I? Because it feels pretty fucking reasonable from where I'm standing. You chose his name over our marriage. I chose a name I like. You chose his name. She was sobbing now. Please, I'm sorry. I didn't think it would be this big of a deal. You didn't think it would be a big deal to name our son after your ex-boyfriend without telling me? I didn't name him after Lucas. I named him Lucas. Same fucking thing. The baby started crying. We both stopped. The sound of our newborn son wailing cut through everything. Emily stood up, went to get him, picked him up, started rocking him, whispering soothing sounds. I watched her hold our baby, our Lucas, named after someone else's Lucas. I couldn't do this. That night, after she fell asleep, I started researching. Paternity acknowledgement withdrawal. It's a thing. Not easy, not quick, but possible. In our state, I had 60 days from signing the acknowledgement to file a withdrawal if I could prove fraud, duress, or material mistake of fact. Naming the baby after her ex without telling me might qualify as fraud, or at minimum, a material mistake. I'd agreed to the name under false pretenses. I'd also need a DNA test to prove paternity. But that was a formality. I knew he was mine biologically, but legally? Emotionally? If she'd named him after another man, if she'd rather honor her ex than her husband, then what was I? By morning, I'd made my decision. I waited until she was showering, took the baby to my parents' house, told them I needed help for a few hours. Family emergency. They asked if everything was okay. I said I'd explain later. Went to a lawyer's office I'd found online. I'd filled out their emergency intake form at 5 a.m. They had a 24/7 online system. Got an automated response saying someone would call within business hours. At 8:30 a.m., while driving to my parents', Patricia Moss had called me directly, heard the urgency in my voice, told me to come in immediately. The lawyer's name was Patricia Moss, mid-50s, sharp eyes, no-nonsense energy. I told her everything. The name, the texts, the emotional affair, the lies. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she sat back. Okay, let's talk about what you want. I want a divorce. I want to file a paternity acknowledgement withdrawal. I want my name off that birth certificate until she agrees to change his name. That's nuclear. Good. You understand what you're asking? You're talking about disavowing your biological son over a name. I'm disavowing a marriage where my wife chose to honor another man over me. The name is just the evidence. She studied me. You're sure about this? Because once we file, there's no taking it back quietly. I'm sure. Okay. We'll file the paternity acknowledgement withdrawal on grounds of fraud or material mistake of fact. You signed under false pretenses, not knowing the baby was named after her ex-boyfriend. That's a valid basis for withdrawal in this state. What about DNA? We'll get a DNA test done simultaneously to establish biological paternity on record. Even though you're withdrawing the legal acknowledgement, the DNA evidence will make it easier to re-establish paternity later if she changes the name. It's strategic, covers your bases. Fine. The withdrawal filing doesn't require the DNA results up front, but having them will strengthen your position when you re-establish. We file the withdrawal now, get DNA results within a few days, and you'll have options. We'll also file for divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences. Given the circumstances, we'll push for primary custody once paternity is re-established. But I have to warn you, the withdrawal is going to look bad in family court. Judges don't like fathers who walk away. I'm not walking away. I'm making a point. Once she changes the name, I'll re-establish paternity. What if she doesn't change it? I didn't have an answer for that. Let's cross that bridge if we get there, Patricia said. For now, we file. Divorce, paternity withdrawal, DNA test. And I assume you want this public? I want everyone to know why I'm doing this. Social media? Yes. She leaned back. I need to be very clear about this. Posting on social media about pending legal matters is almost always a bad idea. Judges hate it. It can be used against you in court. It looks vindictive. It can harm your custody chances. I strongly advise against it. I understand the risks. Do you? Because once it's out there, you can't take it back. Even if you delete it, screenshots exist. This could seriously damage your case. I need people to know why I'm doing this. She's going to spin it her way. I need to tell my side. She studied me. You're sure about this? I'm sure. Then I need you to sign a waiver acknowledging I advised against this and you're proceeding anyway. Fine. She pulled out a form. I signed it. Your funeral, she said, but it's your call. We spent the next 3 hours preparing documents. Divorce petition, paternity acknowledgement withdrawal, custody paperwork, DNA test authorization. I signed everything. Left the office at noon. Drove to a lab for the DNA test. They swabbed my cheek. Said results would take 3 to 5 days. Then I went home. Emily was on the couch, alone. She looked up when I walked in. Where were you? Where's Lucas? At my parents'. Why? Because I filed for divorce this morning. She stared at me. What? I handed her the papers. Divorce petition, paternity withdrawal notice. She read them, face going from confused to horrified. You're withdrawing paternity? What does that even mean? It means I'm removing my legal acknowledgement that I'm Lucas Martin Anderson's father. You can't do that. I can, and I did. I have 60 days to withdraw acknowledgement if I can prove fraud or material mistake. You lied about the name. That's fraud, or at minimum, a material mistake. I agreed to Lucas Martin thinking it was just a name you liked. Turns out it was your ex-boyfriend's name. That changes everything. This is insane. He's your son. He's Lucas Martin. Let Lucas Martin raise him. Lucas Hayes is not his father. You are. Then you should have named him after me, or literally anyone else. I didn't name him after Lucas. God, why won't you believe me? Because I read your texts. Because I saw you tell him you think about him. Because you told him you wonder what would have happened if you'd stayed together. Because you told him we named our son Lucas Martin, and he said he was honored. We were just talking. About him while pregnant with my baby. And then you gave that baby his name. She was crying again, hard, gasping for air between sobs. Please, please don't do this. I love you. I love our family. I'll change his name. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't leave. You should have thought about that before you filed the birth certificate. We can amend it. You said we could. I don't want to amend it. I want you to understand what you did. You chose him. Even when you were with me, you chose him. So now you can have him. I don't want him. I want you. Funny way of showing it. I left her there, went upstairs, started packing a bag. She followed me, still crying. Where are you going? My parents. I already told them I'm staying there for a while. You're taking Lucas? His name's not Lucas to me. And no, you can keep him. You wanted him named after your ex so badly. You can explain to everyone why. Please don't go. I'm done, Emily. I finished packing, grabbed my laptop and work stuff, walked past her down the stairs. At the door, I turned around. When people ask why I filed for divorce a week after our son was born, I'm going to tell them the truth. That you named him after your ex-boyfriend without telling me. That you've been emotionally attached to another man our entire marriage. That you cared more about honoring some college boyfriend than respecting your husband. You can't. I can. And I will. This isn't private anymore. You made this public the second you filed that birth certificate. I left. Drove to my parents' house. They were in the living room. Baby Lucas, my son, biologically speaking, was asleep in a carrier. My mom stood up. What happened? I told them everything. My dad's face went red with anger. My mom cried. What can we do? My mom asked. Nothing right now. Just let me stay here while this sorts out. Of course, as long as you need. That night, I wrote a post. Long one? Explained everything. Emily's texts with Lucas Hayes, the name revelation, the lies, the divorce, the paternity withdrawal. I tagged Emily, didn't tag Lucas Hayes, didn't need to stoop to that level. Posted it on Facebook at 11 p.m. Emily called within minutes. I declined. She called again. Declined. Text from her. Take it down now. I turned my phone to silent. By midnight, I had 50 comments and 20 shares. By morning, over 300 comments and over 100 shares. People were divided. Half thought I was justified. You don't name your baby after an ex. That's insane. She emotionally cheated. He has every right. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The other half thought I was overreacting. It's just a name. He's punishing his son for his wife's mistake. This is so petty. Didn't care about the second half. Emily called me 17 more times that morning. I didn't answer any of them. She texted, "You destroyed me. Everyone thinks I'm a cheater. My parents are devastated. You're ruining our son's life. Please take the post down. Please." I didn't respond. Her mom called. I answered. "How could you do this to her?" she said. Not hello. Not how are you, just accusations. "How could she name our son after her ex-boyfriend?" I said back. "It's a name. People are named Lucas. Lucas Martin, both names, her ex's full name. And she didn't tell me. She didn't think you'd care." "Well, I do. You're ruining her reputation. Everyone thinks she had an affair." "She had an emotional affair. That's real. No physical contact. That's not cheating. Agree to disagree." She hung up on me. Emily's dad called an hour later. Calmer. "Son, I think you're hurt and you're lashing out. I get it, but this is too much. You have a baby together. You need to figure this out." "I'm trying to figure it out. She needs to change his name." "You can't force her to do that." "Then I can't be his father. That's not how this works." "Actually, legally, it is," he sighed. "What do you want? Really, bottom line, I want his name changed, and I want her to cut contact with Lucas Hayes completely. If she does both, I'll withdraw the divorce petition and reestablish paternity." "That's it?" "That's it. Let me talk to her." He hung up. 2 hours later, Emily called. I answered. "I'll change the name," she said, voice flat, defeated. "To what?" "James, like you wanted." "James Martin?" "No. James Robert, after your grandfather and my grandfather." "Fine. And I'll block Lucas Hayes on everything. No contact, ever." "Fine. And you'll drop the divorce and the paternity withdrawal?" "Once the name is legally changed and I verify you've blocked him, yes." "Okay." Silence. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I didn't realize how much this would hurt you. I thought it was just a name." "It's never just a name." "I know that now." "Do you love him?" Long pause. "No, I love you." "Did you love him?" "Yes, a long time ago, but I chose you. I married you. I want to be with you." "Then act like it." "I will, I promise." We hung up. I didn't believe her. Not really, but I wanted to believe her. 3 days later, the DNA test came back. 99.99% match. He was mine, biologically. We met at the county records office to file the birth certificate amendment. Patricia had explained that my paternity withdrawal wouldn't be finalized for weeks. I was still the legal father on record, which meant I could sign the amendment. Both of us had to sign. Emily filled out the paperwork, changed the name from Lucas Martin Anderson to James Robert Anderson. I signed. She signed. The clerk processed it, made it official. She sent me screenshots of her blocking Lucas Hayes on Instagram, Facebook, text messages, email, everything. I verified it all. She'd done it. I went back to Patricia Moss, told her I wanted to withdraw the divorce petition and reinstate paternity. She looked at me skeptically. "You sure?" "I'm sure." "What changed?" "She changed the name, cut contact with him. That's what I asked for, and you trust her." "I'm going to try." "Okay, your call." We filed the paperwork. Divorce withdrawn, paternity reinstated. I went home that night, 2 weeks after I'd left. Emily was on the couch. Baby was asleep in the bassinet. She looked up when I walked in. "Hey." She said, "Hey, you're back?" "Yeah." She stood up, walked over to me, hugged me tight. I hugged back. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm so sorry." "I know." We stood there for a while. Then I pulled back. "His name's James now?" "Yes, James Robert Anderson. It's official." I walked over to the bassinet, looked at my son, 2 weeks old, sleeping peacefully. "Hey, James," I said softly. He stirred but didn't wake. Emily came up beside me. "He looks like you." "Yeah, he does." "I love you," she said. "I love you too." And I meant it. But things were different now. Trust was broken. Maybe fixable, maybe not. We'd have to see. The Facebook post stayed up. I didn't take it down. Emily asked me to. I said no, said it was a record of what happened. Accountability. She didn't argue. Life went on. We did couples counseling. She apologized 100 times. I forgave her, sort of. James turned 1 last month. We had a small party. My parents, her parents, a few friends. Someone asked how we picked his name. Emily looked at me. I looked at her. "Family names," I said. "James is my grandfather. Robert is her grandfather." The truth was simpler. James Robert was the name we agreed on after I threatened to walk away. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd just let it go. If I'd accepted Lucas Martin and moved on. If we'd saved ourselves the drama. But then I think about what message that would have sent. That I'm okay being second place. That I'm okay with my wife naming our son after another man. That I'll tolerate anything to keep the peace. I'm not that guy. And I'm glad I made the stand I did. Not because I wanted to hurt Emily, but because I needed her to understand that actions have consequences. That lies have weight. That a name isn't just a name when it carries someone else's history. James Robert Anderson, my son. Named the right way the second time. And Emily? She's a good mom, a decent wife. We're still in counseling, still working through it. But every time she picks up her phone, I wonder if she's thinking about Lucas Hayes. If she's wishing things were different. If she regrets marrying the stable guy instead of the college boyfriend. I'll never know for sure, but at least my son doesn't carry his name. That's enough for now.